Today I am going to explain compound. First of all, definition. A compound basically is a substance that has the following characteristic, that is made up of two or more elements chemically combined together. Chemically combined means there is some chemical bond present between the two or more elements. It may be ionic bond, the covalent bond, in a fixed ratio. So elements will be combined in a fixed ratio, then it will make a compound. If the ratio between the elements or substances is not fixed, it is not a compound. It will become a mixture that will have a no fixed ratio. So defining a compound, it's very important to have a fixed ratio between the elements or the substances. Properties of compound. In compounds, elements lose their own property. They just behave as a property of that particular compound. For example, if we take example of water, H2O, its chemical formula, H hydrogen is a gas, oxygen O is also a gas, while they combine with each other with the help of a chemical bond, the hydrogen bonding, and they lose their own property and they become a liquid. They change their physical state and now they become the liquid. So elements when combined with each other to make a compound, they lose their own properties. Compound cannot be broken down into its simpler substances or into its element by simple physical method. They are represented by a chemical formula, as I indicate the example of water. So water is indicated by its chemical formula or represented by its chemical formula H2O. They have sharp melting and boiling point. Why they have sharp melting and boiling point? Because of the fixed ratio of elements present in the compounds that make it different from the mixture. While on the other hand, mixture do not have sharp melting and boiling point. Their melting and boiling point will be fluctuating. They fluctuate because of the absence of fixed ratio, because they do not have a fixed ratio of elements or substances. Some examples. So we look on two examples, carbon dioxide, CO2, and water, H2O. In carbon dioxide, there are two elements present, carbon and oxygen. So they have a fixed ratio, 12 ratio 32 or 3 ratio 8 by mass. That is according to mass, not on the number of elements. Water, H2O, made up of two elements, the combination of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen, in the ratio 1 ratio 8 by mass. By mass means it is related to the atomic number, atomic mass. So now the classification of compounds. While we talk about the classification of compounds, so on the basis of their form and existence, compounds are classified into two classes or two groups: ionic compounds, covalent compounds. Now let's discuss both of these one by one. Ionic compounds. Ionic compounds do not exist in independent molecular form. They exist in they exist upon the other molecules. They are dependent upon the other molecules, form a three-dimensional crystal lattice or three-dimensional structure, you can say, and have high melting and boiling point. They are represented by formula unit. These all the properties present in ionic compound is due to the presence of ionic bond in the ionic compound. The ionic bond basically is the bond that is formed by the complete transfer of electron from one element towards another element. So In this way, by transferring an electron from one atom to another, there is a transfer of a negative charge from one atom towards another. The element that is losing an electron gains the positive charge, while the element that attract basically that gains the electron will have the negative charge. On the other hand, that lose the electron will gain the positive charge. So in this way, the opposite charges attract each other, and there will be a strong force of attraction. That's why they are independent. They have high melting and boiling points as well, and they form the three-dimensional structure. For example, we have different examples of ionic compound. The most common one, that is sodium chloride, NaCl. Next one, KBr, and etc. Next one, we have covalent compounds. Covalent compounds exist in molecular form, means they do not make their own. By transferring electron, they basically share the electron with one another. The elements present in covalent compounds, they are formed basically by sharing the electrons between them. So they exist in molecular form. Molecule is true representative of covalent compound, represented by molecular unit as a molecule unit. Example, you have H2O, it exists as a molecule H2O water, HCl hydrochloric acid, etc. These are some compounds with their formulas given. Water, H2O, most common compounds. Sodium chloride, common salt or table salt, NaCl. Silicon dioxide, SiO2. Sodium hydroxide, that is known as caustic soda, NaOH. Sodium carbonate, washing soda, Na2CO3, and H2O, the water ratio that is present. Calcium oxide, CaO, quicklime. Calcium carbonate, limestone, CaCO3. Sugar, that is sucrose, C12, H22O11, sulfuric acid, H2SO4, ammonia, and H3. These are all the common compounds given with their formulas. Thank you very much.